In my last couple of videos, I've discussed the importance of developing a successful book launch strategy. Well, in this video, we're actually going to do a case study of a book that has been created and published by Chris Raydog. Now, if you're not aware of Chris, you absolutely have to check out his YouTube channel. He's one of the best YouTubers out there regarding Amazon KDP content, and I'll provide his direct link to his channel in the description below. Now, I've collaborated with Chris before, and what I've done is actually create this video and created the case study about his book, because I'm really happy for him that he's had such a successful launch. So I want to sort of break down a few of the things that Chris has done to have a successful launch with his Christmas word search book for adults. So we're going to break a few things down about what he's done successfully and what you can do to successfully launch your book. Now, I'm going to be showing you Chris's book. We're going to be identifying a few of the great things that he's done. And I wanted to highlight these because Chris deserves an acknowledgement for the work he's done with this book and to get it ranking where it is. I look forward to showing you all that information. And before I go any further, if you haven't been to this channel before, my name is Romney, and I talk about everything KDP and publishing, and I hope you enjoy this video. So let's get into this case study where we look into Chris's book, and hopefully you'll learn some information about a proper book launch strategy. So before we begin, I wanted to show you Chris's YouTube channel, and this is a way for you to gain extra knowledge and information. Chris is very transparent with the information he provides. He's approaching 20,000 subscribers, so it'd be exciting for Chris to reach that 20,000 subscriber mark. And his most recent video was this one here, so my new book. And Chris goes into detail about the book he's created. It's a Christmas themed book, and he also talks about his Amazon advertising and ranking keywords. So what we're going to do is to go to that book now, which is this one right here. So Chris has developed the Christmas word search for adults. So it's got 1,300 relaxing large print words to find for adults and seniors. And so if we go to look inside of this book, we can go down and identify a few pages that Chris has got on here. So he has probably got the 10% of the look inside at the moment, which allows for approximately 10 pages or thereabouts that people can actually go in and have a look. So firstly, if we want to launch a book, we need to ensure that we have the look inside feature optimized, so you can contact Amazon KDP and increase that. I usually increase mine to around about the 20% mark so that people can see, or customers can see more into that book. So that is a starting point for that. So what we're going to do is just close this off. Now let's go back into here. So Chris has got 127 pages, and if we scroll down, he's added his A+ content. So this is really professional looking. He's got the pages open so that customers can see inside the book. That's important. And if we scroll down and have a look at the current ranking, so Chris has currently got a ranking of 29,773, which is brilliant, particularly in the Christmas theme books in November, where we're at right now. The sales are starting to increase. So Chris is doing well. His book is an 8.5 by 11 inches, and it was released on October 14, 2022. So it has been going for just under a month, and he's already achieved that 29,773 ranking. So let's break this down a little bit more so that we can see what he's done. So to start with, he's got a pricing of $6.99. So if we were to look at competitors in this, it'll be interesting to see what that price point is. And we also know that it's important to have a good description. So Chris has got the information here about the word search and a few dot points, and that is what customers want. They want to know without having 15 different paragraphs of what the book's about. It needs to be succinct and ready to go. The first thing we want to do though is to see how Chris has his keywords ranking. So I'm going to go to incognito and let's have a look. We'll go back to his book. We just want to have a look. So if we do Christmas word search for adults, let's see how Chris is ranking currently for this. So if we go Christmas word search, so I've also got an expander here which talks about, which shows you a lot of other keywords. Let's do our search right now. So Chris, we're hoping his book is going to show up when we do this. Here it is right here. So it's featuring on page 1. Now for Chris to get this on page 1, he would have used the keywords in his title. In his subtitle, we use some words, the 7 back-end keywords, and also when he's doing his campaigns for his Amazon advertising, he would need to try and include those words so that when people search for it, it comes up. And that's important that it's actually showing up on page 1 and it's only a couple of lines down. So yeah, on the second line, which is brilliant. And these are sponsored ads, so therefore he's featuring the top line. And that's what you want. So if we go down, we can see other books that have got the Christmas word search. And he mentioned in his video that he has quite a few campaigns set up for his book launch. So let's tick a few boxes off that he's done well so far. Firstly, he's appearing on page 1 of the Amazon search results. And at this time of the year, to feature on page 1 for Christmas word search is brilliant. Secondly, he's launched his Amazon ad campaigns, and he's obviously established the right campaigns so that he gets his keywords featured when people are searching for it. He's added his A+ content, which is looking professional as well. So he's ticking all those right boxes. One thing that I notice Chris doesn't have at the moment are any reviews. And it goes to show that, yes, social proof is very important, but it may not be absolutely necessary to start with. But I would advocate to try and get social proof or reviews as quickly as you can, and to get quite a few of them. Because if Chris had 5 reviews, then his book might even be ranking better than 29,773. He might be in the range of 15,000 or 11,000 if he had just a few reviews. So this one here has 1 review and it's ranked at 15,626. So let's have a look at this book because I think I'd suggest that Chris's is probably going to be much better. But let's have a look at this. So it's got the cover there. And so it's very similar to Chris's. In fact, I think Chris has done a better job with his manuscript than this one. And this one's ranking a little bit better. But let's go and have a look at when this was. So this was also October 14. Exactly same date as Chris's. Now, let's have a look at the content. So this is quite professional. See how they've got that there? Looks like quite a small book on the actual A+ content. If we scroll down further, it is a 6x9. So yeah, it's the size. Chris has got an 8.5 by 11. This is a 6x9 inch. Let's have a look at the pricing to see if it's competitive. We're looking at these ones. Chris's is listed at $6.99. This is $7.99. Then $14.99. This one is at $7.99. So Chris could potentially lift his price a little bit because we can notice that the price point is still selling well at $7.99. Chris is at $6.99. And if he does increase the price a little bit, then that will help him with his the revenue that he's generating, which will probably help his ACOS with his Amazon advertising as well. So that's got the 1 review. I don't know if it's a written review or whether it's just a customer, just a ranking there. Yep, so it's all good. Now, let's run Chris's book through a couple of tests here. So I'm going to just go back here. I'm going to get off this one and go back to the main book. We're going to grab Chris's ASIN number, which is just here. And what I want to do is to put it into Book Bolt to start with under Book Scout, and let's see whether any keywords come up for Chris. So he'll be wanting to get the keywords for Christmas word search. So this can sometimes take a little bit of time to come through, and you can see the search volumes on those. No descriptions coming up at the moment, but you can see there's no ranking on Book Bolt, but it does take a bit of time for that to happen. I think another good one for us to go into would be Publisher Rocket. So let's have a look at the competitor analyzer, and let's type in, probably we won't use that one at the moment. Let's go to the words, main keywords in his title, and see whether his book comes up under that one. Under books, and we go get 'em Rocket. You can get Publisher Rocket that will help you with this kind of research, niche research, whatever it might be. So we're going to scroll down. Here's Chris's book right here. So that's great because it means that the software for Publisher Rocket is picking up Chris's book, and it's saying it's one of the top sellers. And Chris is using a different pen name, but it's going for the age, which is 19 days. The ranking is 29,000, which we know. Number of pages, keywords in the title, yes. And it's pricing point, daily sales of $53, and the monthly sales of $1,214. These are estimated. And I know I've got books where it might have the estimated monthly sales, and I don't think it's making that much. But this is the daily sales, meaning that's not what Chris is making, or this one either. That's the total number of sales being, or $6.99 multiplied by the number of books will give you this figure. Chris would probably be receiving a royalty of about $1.50, $1.90 per book once Amazon take their cut of the pricing point. So if we go to check it out, then it'll take us straight to this one here. Now let's have a look at the different categories that Chris has got as well. He's got in Christmas. So there could be potentially other categories that Chris could put his book into. So if we go here and we do books, and let's just start with Christmas. We need to make sure that these categories are relevant. So we've got holidays and celebrations. So you'd need a sales rank of 392 to get number one. And sorry, that's how many books you'd need to sell. And you'd need 91 books to sell to get into the top 10. And you've also got, no, that's probably not suitable. If we do word search, see if there's anything, here we go. So we've got 26 sales to get to number 10 in the top 10, and 86 to number one. So Chris could put his book into this category. If we go to category page and we have a look at the ranking of this, so this one, so if we went to what Chris's book's ranking at the moment, these books are ranking pretty high. He'd be ranking in the top 20, I'd suggest, actually more. Here's another one. Here's a Christmas word search. That's in word search games. So this is another way you can look at different categories. So word search games, word games, and puzzle books. And we could add those categories, or Chris could add those categories by contacting Amazon KDP or the KDP customer team and requesting those categories. So if we go to word search games, here, word search games, puzzles, then what you would do is copy that link, and then you go to Amazon customer service, and you can find you can add the categories via that method. I've got a video which I'll link in the description about how to add the categories to your books. You can add up to, I believe it's 8 categories, so it's an additional 6 categories from the first 2 you list your book. when you first load your book to Amazon KDP. So that's a couple of ways we can find out how Chris's book is going. Now, the last thing we'll do, let's go to this one here, and I just want to see what different keywords are being used here and the competitive nature of what Chris has created for his book. So Publisher Rocket will provide a competitive score, and the lower the number, the easier it is, I guess, for your book to feature. We've got Christmas word search for adults brain games. So he could potentially put something like that in his subtitle, depending if it flows. And under 100 searches per month, but it is a competitive score of 28, and it's earning some good money for that as well. And the other thing we could do is also go to AMS keyword search. So this will allow Chris, if he was creating more campaigns, to add these keywords into his campaigns to help with that process. And it will also provide books, which you can then create a competitor campaign or an ASIN campaign for those books. And this will list here, you can export this whole list, and this is a list that you can copy and then paste those keywords into your campaigns. But you just want to make sure that with your campaigns, you're probably not adding more than 80 keywords. I usually limit mine to 50 keywords per campaign, and you want to make sure they're relevant keywords, because otherwise you're getting clicks potentially and spending too much money. So let's get back out of this. Let's just finish on a few great things that Chris is doing with this book, and a few things that he could probably further do to enhance the opportunity for his book to become evergreen and to keep on ranking. So he's done really well with the title. That's number one. It's got the main keywords in there. Subtitle, he's got the print words, adults and seniors. So he's obviously done his research to find what words are going to be ranking well for his subtitle. The cost of his book, or the pricing, is just a little bit lower than his competitors, which means he's got some room to move. And sometimes it's a great way to launch is to be slightly less in pricing. The cover is great. He engaged someone externally, an illustrator, to do his cover. During his video, of his most recent YouTube video, he talked about how he designed one himself in Canva, then he had his illustrator design one in Canva, and then he had his illustrator just draw a illustration. And obviously Santa has come up really, really well, and he's got the look inside. So that's excellent, ticking the boxes, and his description's good. Remember, your Amazon keywords aren't going to be effective unless you have a great cover and your description, because you need to convert people to click on your sponsored ad to then go and purchase the book. Let's scroll down, and we know his A+ content is great, so another tick there, and he's doing really well with his sales too. And as I mentioned, one further thing that Chris could do is to get more social proof. If he had 5 reviews, then that would really help. And by getting that social proof, it gives customers confidence to purchase that book. So that's a great way to illustrate that if you do the launch properly, you can get ranked quickly. Chris's book's been going for a couple of weeks, and he's already in the under 30,000 for his ranking, which is great. So let's finish there. I just wanted to give this a good look into the things that I look for in a great launch, the processes you need to go through, and the structure that Chris has obviously created, the blueprint for himself. And he's doing many of the things that I teach to get a book ranking really, really well. So well done, Chris. It's a brilliant effort. So there you have Chris's book, and we've identified a lot of the things that Chris has done well to get the book where it currently is, his keywords, the ranking, and making sure that it becomes a Christmas book that each year will rise to the top again in the searches so that Chris can get ongoing sales for now and for many years to come. So thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you do want more detail about how to successfully launch a book on Amazon, I have a course that is on Udemy, Skillshare and Thinkific. If that's of interest to you, make sure you check out the links below, and that will really help you to launch your book successfully. So thank you. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will look forward to creating a new video very soon. Bye.